Welcome, my fellow seekers of wisdom and Wi-Fi, to another edition of Luru the Guru video series. Today we're back with our special guest to talk about Zeitenwende. Zeitenwende is a German term that translates to turning point or epochal shift. It signifies a major historical turning point or paradigm shift. The word is derived from Zeit, time, and Wende, turn or change. Welcome back, chap.
Thank you, Luru, for having me back, as this is a very important topic and one that I'd love to dive into. The term Zeitenwende gained international prominence in 2022 when German Chancellor Olaf Scholz used it in a speech following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Scholz declared that the world had entered a new era of geopolitical and security challenges, calling it a Zeitenwende in Germany's foreign policy. From a broad historical and cultural meaning, Zeitenwende can be used more generally to describe major shifts in history, society, or economics. For example, it has been used to describe the fall of the Berlin Wall, 1989, the Industrial Revolution, digital transformation, and climate change policies. From a philosophical and existential meaning, some use Zeitenwende in a deeper sense, referring to transitions in human consciousness, values, or global paradigms. It is sometimes invoked in discussions of technological disruption, AI, automation, climate crises, or global power shifts.
What's your point of view of Zeitenwende and the current state of America, AI, and its impact on the world?
The Zeitenwende, as a global paradigm shift, is deeply interconnected with the current state of America, the rise of AI, and the wider impact on the world. We are at an inflection point where geopolitics, technology, and societal transformation are colliding, creating an era of uncertainty, acceleration, and opportunity. The Zeitenwende and the US. America is at a crossroads, experiencing its own Zeitenwende across multiple dimensions. There's political polarization and trust in institutions. The US is more divided than ever, with distrust in government, media, and corporations at all-time highs. This instability weakens the nation's ability to lead decisively on global issues. You have economic and technological shifts. The shift from a manufacturing-based to a digital and AI-driven economy is widening inequality. Traditional jobs are being automated or displaced, creating an economic underclass while big tech consolidates power. And sadly, the declining global hegemony, the unipolar world of American dominance is fading, with the rise of China, India, and multipolar geopolitics. The US is no longer the uncontested leader, but rather a dominant player in an increasingly complex game.
And what's the US at risk of losing here?
From my point of view, the US is at risk of losing its narrative of innovation and leadership if it does not navigate this transition wisely. The country must redefine its role, not just as a superpower, but as a visionary leader in the next technological and economic age. And of course you have AI as the engine of the new Zeitenwende. Artificial intelligence is the defining technology of this era, reshaping war, work, creativity, and human identity. We are no longer in the tech boom era, but a transition into an AI-first civilization. AI's global impact is obvious in several fronts. 1. Geopolitics. The new arms race AI is no longer just a tool. It's a weapon, a strategic asset, and a power multiplier. Nations that dominate AI will control cyber warfare, surveillance, and economic leverage. The US and China are in a silent war over AI dominance, and Europe is scrambling to regulate it before it's too late. 2. Work and creativity. The death of the middle AI isn't just replacing blue-collar work. It's threatening white-collar knowledge workers in law, design, marketing, and content creation. The gap between highly adaptable, AI-empowered individuals and those left behind is growing exponentially. The middle class is eroding, and with it, social stability. 3. Human identity and existential questions. AI forces us to redefine intelligence, creativity, and even consciousness. What happens when machines write, design, and think better than us? If humans are no longer the primary creators, what is our purpose?
It sounds like the Zeitenwende in AI is as much a philosophical shift as it is a technological one.
Exactly. I truly believe that AI is not just another wave of innovation. It is the biggest disruptor since the Industrial Revolution. Nations, companies, and individuals who fail to adapt will not just fall behind, they may become irrelevant. The global AI divide will have its winners and losers. AI is not being distributed equally. We are seeing the rise of digital feudalism where a few players, OpenAI, Google, China's Baidu, etc., control the core infrastructure while the rest of the world licenses intelligence like medieval peasants rented land. Winners. Nations with strong AI policies. US, China, UAE, Israel. Companies with AI-driven business models. Individuals who leverage AI to enhance their work rather than fight it. Losers. Nations slow to adopt or regulate AI too heavily. Europe's slow AI adoption is a concern. Middle-class professionals who refuse to reskill. Any industry based on rote learning, repetitive labor, or manual processes. The new class divide won't be rich versus poor, but AI-empowered versus AI-disrupted. The shift is accelerating, and those who fail to evolve will be left behind.
How about the spiritual and existential side of the Zeitenwende?
Beyond economics and power, this shift is forcing humanity to confront its role in the universe. Are we co-creators with AI or just its caretakers? What happens when our creative work is indistinguishable from AI-generated content? Will AI reinforce or dissolve spirituality, intuition, and consciousness? And some believe AI will lead to a renaissance of human creativity, freeing us from repetitive work to explore higher states of consciousness. Others fear it will strip away purpose, autonomy, and meaning. In my opinion, the world is at risk of worshipping AI as an oracle rather than using it as a tool. The real question is who is programming the AI and what values are embedded in it. If we don't ask these questions now, we may wake up in a world where AI dictates culture, economy, and even morality. Final take. The choice before us. We are in the midst of a multi-layered Zeitenwende, a geopolitical, technological, economic, and spiritual transformation all at once. America must redefine its leadership, not through dominance, but through innovation and vision. AI is the most disruptive force of our era. Those who master it will shape the future. We must be intentional about how AI integrates into human society, or we risk being consumed by it. The big question: will this Zeitenwende lead to a new golden age of human progress, or a slow descent into irrelevance, chaos, and machine dominance? This moment is not just a change, it is the change that defines the next 100 years. How do you see yourself navigating this shift? Are you preparing to be a creator in the AI age, or are you seeing risks that concern you the most?
Can you imagine a surfer riding the digital wave as a digital creator rather than someone at the shoreline as the wave breaks?
Absolutely. I love that analogy. The digital creator as a surfer riding the AI wave rather than standing on the shore as it crashes is a perfect metaphor for the Zeitenwende we're living through.
Thanks, Chap, for your insights. And as we look forward to surfing the AI wave and how to stay on top, well, stay tuned for our next video. And until then, my seekers of wisdom and Wi-Fi, hang tight.